How many brothers? We're going to talk a little bit about who. You ought to be able to guess. Jacob and Esau. Very good. There you go. That's what I wanted. Brother versus brother. Jacob and Esau. We're talking a little bit about them just to get the brother versus brother theme in there, get the flavor of brother versus brother. But we're really going to talk about your blessing and what God has in store for you. What God's doing in your life and how God can transform your life no matter who you are or where you come from. It doesn't matter what your age. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. It doesn't matter if your parents had money, if they didn't have money. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. What matters is, are you willing to take on the blessing that God has for you? If you have your Bible, turn over to Genesis chapter 27. We'll start there. Genesis 27. And I don't know if I'm going to read all of it. There's a lot. But I'll read as much as I want to. And then you guys can read the rest, okay? Ready? When you get there, say amen. Amen. Genesis 27, starting with verse 1 says, "Now it came to pass, when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, and he could not see, that he called Esau his older son and said to him, My son. And he answered him, Here am I. Then he said, Behold, now I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now therefore, please take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out in the field and hunt game for me, and make me savory food which I love, and bring it to me, and I may eat, and that my soul may bless you before I die." Now Rebekah was listening when Isaac spoke to Esau, his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt game to bring it. So Rebekah spoke to Jacob, her son, saying, "Indeed, I heard your father speak to Esau, your brother, saying, Bring me game that I may make savory food for me, that I may eat it and bless you and in the presence of the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to what I command you. Go now to the flock and bring me from there 2 choice kids of the goats, and I will make savory food from them for your father, such as he loves. Then you will take it to your father and may eat it, and he may bless you before his death." And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, "Look, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. Perhaps my father will feel me and shall seem to be a deceiver to him, and shall curse me on my behalf and not bless him." But his mother said to him, "Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice and go get them for me." Let's pray. Father, I thank you for another opportunity to preach your word. I ask that you help me to preach it right today. Help me to preach it as you preached it to me. Let me get my point across. And Father, we're so thankful for you. In Jesus' name we pray. And everybody said? Amen. Listen, I got 30 minutes and I got 75 minutes worth of stuff. So you have to listen fast, okay? Can you listen fast? Yes. I'm going to talk fast. So we have a brother versus a brother. And the TV show is about one brother that fixes houses, one brother that sells houses. Yeah. And so this brother's trying to fix his house, this brother's trying to sell it. Okay? And so they're always competing against each other. They've made a great living. Now it's bled over into other places. I think one of them is on like Dancing with the Stars or something now. Right? Which one is it? I don't have a clue. They're twins. They're from Canada. I don't know. And so I don't know. But I don't have any idea who they are. But my wife religiously watches the show. And I'm always like, oh, it's Drew and Jonathan. Okay. Okay. I don't know. But I don't watch it enough to really know what the whole story and what that. But there's always this rivalry against each other because the one brother's going to do better than the other brother. And Jacob and Esau remind me of that because, you know, if you remember, Jacob was a deceiver and he was a supplanter, and listen, I don't know if your name's Jacob, I'm sorry, but I don't mean to say anything bad, but that's what that word means. It means a deceiver. That's what it means. And so Jacob, from his birth, he grabbed his brother's heel, and from his birth, he was always been trying to get ahead of his brother, and always trying to be something that he wasn't, and he never really was Jacob. He never really was himself. He always wanted to be somebody else. Yeah. And so you may be sitting here today and think, I don't really like who I am, and maybe you don't really care about what your life is about. Maybe you don't like your life. Maybe your life is tragic and you hate your life, and you really would like to be somebody else. Maybe you really don't like who you are, and you felt that in your entire life, if I could just be like them, or if I could just have what they have, or if I could just do what they do. And can I share with you, that's not what God's called you to be. He's called you to be who you are. He's called you to be Jacob. He's not called you to be Esau. And so when they have a brother, they have a battle going on. Here's the battle. Number one, Jacob is not, he's in the house making the food. Esau's the one going out and killing it and bringing it home. They're different. They're completely different people. Can I share with you this? That you are never somebody else. You are never exactly like somebody else. There's got to be somebody to kill it, and somebody got to be here. I'm going to cook it. Somebody, there has to be either one. You can't be that same. You can't be that person that wants to be. Oh, I wish I could cook. I wish I could cook. If you're not good at cooking, honey. I was talking to a lady yesterday, and she was saying something about cooking, and she said, some ladies just think, oh, it's so wonderful. I get to cook for my family, and I love it, and blah, blah, blah. She said, I cook for survival. I was like, oh, that's so sad. But she said she just cooks for survival. I was laughing. She said, what are you laughing at? I said, it's funny. You just die if you didn't, you know? And I had another guy I was sitting with. He said, yeah, if I ever redesign the kitchen again, I'm going to take out the ovens and just put 3 microwaves in. And it was just, I thought, oh my goodness, this is crazy. He said, because nobody in our house cooks. We just heat stuff up. And it was just funny. And so but somebody has to go out and kill it, and somebody has to cook it, right? Or heat it up, or whatever. Defrost it, make a sandwich, whatever. Somebody has to put the mustard on the bread, right? Okay, so this to share with you. Jacob wanted to be Esau so bad from his birth, he wanted to be the first. From his birth, he wanted to be first in line. He wanted to be him so badly. Because, you know, after all, it's not fair that you're born second if you're twin, right? Yeah, I guess. I think it's fair to be a twin. You don't ever get to have your own birthday. You know, you have to share it with somebody. You don't get to have your own anything. You have to share it. And you have to dress alike, right? And you have to have names that rhyme, right? Well, you do. It seems like you do. Has to be a Mike and a Mark there, right? Has to be close. And so it seems like has to be a Jacob or a, I don't know, Esau. I don't know. But you have to have whatever. It seems like you have to dress you alike, and you have to be alike, you have to have the same haircut. You have to complete each other's sentences and stuff because it's weird. And so it's just a weird deal, right? But brother versus brother, Jacob always wanted to be the first in line. And Rebecca, sneaky snake she was, she wanted her son, who was always in the kitchen with her making stuff, to be the first in line. She wanted that brother to win. She picked sides. Parents, can I tell you, don't pick a favorite. I know you may have one, but don't tell them. Amen. Act like you don't. You know, act like you love them. I love them all the same. Okay, and so some of them get along with better than other ones, right? Okay, ain't nobody gonna tell the truth in here today, but me. Some of them get along with better than the other ones. And some of them you go, I'd like to knock the top half of your head off. But I love you, so I won't. You know it's true, that's why you laugh. Okay, here's the deal. If you have more than one, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, listen. Jacob, he manipulated the blessing of Esau. There's so many people in the church world, the church realm, that get so jealous of somebody else's anointing. They try to manipulate who they are. They try to act like that person. They try to emulate who they are. They try to dress like them, have the same haircut as them. You know, get it tight on the side, cut that part in, whatever. Okay, I was up there for a while. Every male worship leader looked the same. They were bald, had a beard, and I don't know, they had the same glasses. They all looked the same. Because somebody did it. Oh, that's what you have to look like to be a worship leader. I guess. They all had skinny jeans, even when they weren't skinny. They all had that. Okay, they all had the same look. And you have to play acoustic guitar, okay? And so whatever. And so they all had the same general look. So we laugh about that. But here's the deal. When I grew up, most of the men in the church dressed the same. They all had the same haircut. I don't know if Jay's barbershop had a special with a Pentecostal haircut or what, but they all looked the same. They all had the same white socks and black shoes. I mean, it was the same, okay? And so I don't know why we do that, but we want to be, and that makes us more holy, I guess, if we look like somebody who is anointed. And so we want to look like them, and we want to act like them, and we want to be them. But Jacob wasn't like Esau. Jacob was smooth skinned, much like me, not hairy like, you know. I'm pretty hairy guy. I can take my shirt off, I got a sweater on. Just letting you know, okay? Just letting you know. Okay? And so that's why I'm always hot. Okay? So just let you know. In more ways than one. Okay. So here's the deal. We'll pull the 70s out, baby. Okay. So listen. So here's the deal. Jacob would never be Esau in looks. Jacob would never be Esau in anointing. Jacob would never be Esau when he just trying to be Esau. But his mother wanted him to have the blessing. And so his mother manipulated the whole thing. It wasn't even Jacob's idea. But he wasn't strong enough to say no. See, because you may go to be a preacher, a pastor, whatever. The Lord be with you. Okay? And so you may, whatever that is that you want, okay? But hear me. Maybe, and somebody comes up to you and says, you know, you preach a lot better than Pastor Jeff. You know, you'd be a lot better than that. Great. Hallelujah. Here's the keys, man. And so here's the deal. So here, listen, you'd be a lot better because you wouldn't say stuff like you have a sweater. And you wouldn't say stuff like you're hot because you're more holy than that. And all of a sudden you can start going, yeah. That's right. He shouldn't say stuff like that in church. Shut up. Okay. And so, okay, listen. Some people are so stinking holy they're earthly good. Okay? And so, it wasn't heavenly minded, you're no earthly good, or whatever that little saying was. Okay? And so, some people are so uptight, man. They squeak when they walk because they're so uptight. And so you're like, guys, really? I thought we're supposed to serve God and have fun. Not we're supposed to be a drudgery to serve God. I thought we're supposed to have a good time serving the Lord. I thought we're supposed to laugh every now and then, not look like. Anyway, I thought we were supposed to look like we're having a good time and not just simply saying, well, I can't wait for the Lord to come because, man, I'll be happy when the Lord comes. No, why can't you be happy now? Why can't you have a good time now? You know, you don't have to drink and cuss to have a good time. Oh, newsflash. Okay? You don't have to do that. You can have a good time no matter what. Listen, I wanted to tell you this at the beginning of the service, but I forgot to mention it because I had people going, missions! Okay. And so, here's the deal. I watched our church at the Halloween thing, and you know, if you got offended by that, the Lord be with you. Okay, and so I didn't see anybody dancing around a campfire worshiping the devil the whole time, so it was really kind of cool. Okay, so here's the deal. I want to let you know that God does great things. When this church serves, I said this Wednesday night. But when this church serves, we're at our best, man.
Amen.
It is absolutely incredible to watch. I guess I did a little video. Okay, and so I did that, did a little video and all that stuff and sent it out. But I was standing on the trailer, just watching. Just watching. Because I'm a sneaky pastor, and that's what we do. We watch to see who's fighting. Okay, and so, man, it was amazing. Nobody was fighting. Because we didn't have time to think about fighting. At 4:30, there was people wanting hot dogs right now, man. It was just crazy. We didn't open till 5, but they were wanting hot dogs now. And so it's amazing to watch. I was watching Janet do the cookie walk thing and had her girls over there helping her out, or they were at least over there. And so they were over there helping, and then I was watching Matthew and Becky and Jamie over there frying hot. doing hot dogs and giving them out. And I was watching Jimmy and Juanita and whoever else was in the I couldn't see it in the garage, all there who was in the garage. They were making sure everybody got beans and rice and cornbread and a drink. And I looked and I saw Amy trying to tell Kevin how to do the popcorn, and I was watching that, and I was watching I looked down the Midway thing, and I was all these games that Dean made, and all these games that Joey made and brought, and the train. Man, those little kids love the train that Joey made. It's amazing. And then, and no, we did not let Jace drive the kids around. He drove his football around. We didn't drive the kids. Okay? And so watch Tommy interact with that, and trade off, and the skee ball thing, and everybody did everything was just great. And if I left you out, don't be offended. DJ, yeah. EJ the DJ was out there, and he brought it all down though. He played one Bon Jovi song. Father, in the name of Jesus. We rebuked him, but he's okay. He played Living on a Prayer. And so we rebuked him, and got the devil out of him. It was okay. And so after that, it was great, okay? But here's the deal. When we get bored, we turn on each other. I never one time, fuck you, let's sit down before I hit you in the nose. Okay, listen, for the love of the Lord. I watched Lisa walk around with candy, and everybody's like, no one said, whose candy's that? She's like, making candy, because we're giving out candy like crazy. And nobody got offended about us using somebody else's candy. It was amazing. Yeah, right. Oh, whose candy is that? Who bought it? No, I don't want their candy. Nobody said that. We're like, can I have some more candy, please? Would you please fill this up because they're killing me over here? And I watched Larry Bruce. Larry, where you at? There he is. He's in the back so he can get out quick. Okay, here. He's in the back. Larry did 975 sit-ups, vertical. Picking up a football so the kids can throw it through a hole. It was amazing to watch. It's unbelievable. This church is amazing when we serve. So let's not get bored, let's just serve. Can we do that? Getting back to my story, Jacob is not Esau. We're not the Assembly of God, we are the Temple of Praise. We are not the First Baptist Church, we're the Temple of Praise. We're not the First Methodist Church, we're not the Children's Museum. We do things a little different around here, if you haven't noticed. And I kind of like it that way. I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't care about being like everybody else. I don't care, it's not my deal. That's just not the way we do it. We do it this way. Okay? So Jacob, it wasn't even his idea, but he fell for it because he wasn't strong enough to tell his mom, no, it's not right. So sometimes when somebody comes whispering in your ear about what you should be and who you should be and you might need to tell them to shut up. That's not your deal. Because here's the deal. Here's what happens. Jacob, he went and he did exactly what his mother told him to do. He went and did exactly what his mother ordered him basically to do. He went and got the lamb and the goats. He went and had his mom prepare them. She put some fake hair on his hands around his neck. Got some of Esau's clothes so he'd smell like Esau. And put him and said, okay, your dad can't see. Go in there and get blessed. So he walks in. Now, they said the voice, but what about the voice? We'll get there. And so he goes in and he says, here is your meal, Father, that the Lord has provided. Wait a minute, you better watch out when you talk about the Lord has provided something. Because here's the deal. What the devil will do, he'll make an opportunity to look like God did it. Come on. So you can go against what God's will is. You can walk in there and say, oh, God provided this for me. You better watch out when you say stuff like that. You better make sure it's what God has provided. You better make sure it's a door that God has opened. You better make sure that it's God who said, this is what I want you to do. Because if God doesn't open that door, it's going to be tragic for you. But Jacob was too weak and too driven to say no. Jacob received a blessing that didn't belong to him. Amen. Genesis chapter 27, start with verse 27 through 29. 27 through 29. Ready? Here's his blessing. And I'm sorry, I'm reading New King James. That messes you up, I'm sorry. Surely the smell of my son is like the smell of his field. Hang on, that's it. Where's it at? Yeah, that's it. Okay. The smell of the field, which is the Lord is blessed. Therefore, may God give you of the dew of heaven, of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be anyone who curses you, and blessed be those who bless you. That's his blessing. But it was supposed to be Esau's blessing. But Jacob deceived his father and took it without it being the right blessing for him. So here's the deal. Jacob received a blessing that he couldn't handle. And it cost Jacob. This is what it cost him. He had to leave his house because Esau was going to kill him. He had to leave his mother because his mother said, "You're going to my brother's house. You're not staying here." It cost him. He couldn't stay in the place where the blessing came to him. Now listen, you may be blessed because of something, and you may get the job, but you'll never get the position. You better hear me. That's worth the price of admission today. You may get the job, but you'll never have the position that's not attached to you. And so here we go. You can't carry somebody else's blessing. You can't carry it because it's not designed for you. I don't care how badly you want it. I don't care how badly you desire it. That blessing will crush you because it's not your blessing. Esau, the blessing that Isaac gave Jacob, it was not for Jacob. And so when you stand in the presence of your people that love you, and they tell you what you're supposed to be, and they tell you what you're supposed to do, and they tell you who you're supposed to be, and that guy's not as good as you, and that girl's not as good as you, they're not as good a teacher as you, you ought to be the one teaching, they're not as good a musician as you ought to be the one playing, they're not as good at driving the bus as you ought to be the one driving. When they start telling you what you're supposed to be, and God hasn't told you that, you can't carry that blessing. What do you mean? Here's what I mean. You may be the best van driver ever in the history of vans. They designed a van around your tuchus and arms. Okay, that's what they designed it around you. You were the test dummy for them. Okay, they drew your face on the crash dummies when they tested them out because you were the best van driver ever in the history of vans. But God didn't call you to drive church vans. But somebody said, but you were designed for vans. But you were the best van driver ever in the history of vans. We put your face on the crash test dummy. That's what you're supposed to be. And you go, okay. And you go and you receive a blessing of a van driver in a church, and you absolutely detest it, hate the kids, hate your job, hate being there. Wednesday night is a drudgery. You can't wait to get out of church on Wednesday night because you hate being here on Wednesday night because those stinking kids I got to drive. That's how your attitude will be because you've never been called to it even though you thought you were designed for it. You better help me. Even though you think that you absolutely are the world's best at it, if God hasn't called you to it, you'll dread it, and you'll hate it, you'll despise it. You'll despise everything about it. Can I share with you that being a minister of the gospel is not always glamorous and glorious? It's not always like this. It's not. It's not always like this. It's not always the best. You have to deal with people at their lowest point in their lives all the time. When they are at their bottom, you have to pick them up. You have to see the ugly underbelly of the church. You don't get to see just the candy being passed out. You have to see people fighting about who gave candy. It's ridiculous. I know you think I'm lying, but I'm not. Okay? It's ridiculous that this part that you don't get to see. You know, you get to go to the hospital when people are dying, and the whole family's looking at you like, okay, preacher, what are you going to do about it? Yeah. That's what you get to do. You get to go when babies are being born and they're struggling to even be alive, and you get to answer questions like, why is my baby sick? That's what you get to do. Now, it's not always glamorous like it is today. when I get to stand in front of you and get to make you laugh a little bit, maybe put a little bit of word in you, be careful about what you desire. Because I promise you, if you're not called to it, you'll despise it. I promise you, if you're not called to it, you'll hate it and you'll start hating people. I promise you. Because here's the deal. You get to see people at their lowest point, man. Now, you get to see them at their highest height, too. Now, don't get me wrong. There's this old song called It's Going to Be Worth It. It's going to be worth it all. I pray that song is true. And so, it's going to be worth it all someday, right? It's going to be worth it all. When you see somebody in heaven that you led to the Lord, can you imagine that? When they walk up to you and say, if it had not been for you, I wouldn't be here today. Can you imagine that? If it had not been for you, where would I be? And you get to say, man, I didn't do anything to tell you about Jesus. I didn't do anything. And there's times in our lives we feel like we haven't ever done anything. But I'm getting somewhere. I know it's brother versus brother. Hang on a minute. I'm getting somewhere. But Jacob deceived everybody. You can't carry someone else's burden or blessing. You're not equipped to handle it. Jacob was not a hunter. He wasn't equipped to be Esau. And Esau wasn't equipped to be Jacob because he gave his birthright up for a bowl of meat because he was starving. Esau's blessing caused Jacob this, to leave his home, caused him to leave his dying father. His father was dying, and he didn't get to stay. He had to leave his mother that he loved so much that he obeyed a sinful thing. He had to separate from his brother, who they apparently had a good relationship at one point, but then he had to separate. Esau sold his birthright and he lost his blessing because he didn't hang on to it as precious like it was. Esau hated his brother, the Bible says. He hated him so bad that he wanted to kill him. Verse 41 of chapter 27 says, so Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which the father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand, then will I kill my brother Jacob. Boy, that sounds like, let's get that blessing. Let's get that blessing so somebody can chase me down and want to kill me. That my own brother hates me so bad that when my dad, after we get through the funeral, buddy, we're going to have another one. And I'm going to chase you down and I'm going to kill you slow. Because he hated him so badly. So you have to understand that just because it looks desirable to you, maybe you like what it is that somebody else has. Maybe you like their wife. Maybe you like their spouse. Maybe you like what you see. Maybe you like the ministry they have. Maybe you enjoy that ministry and you think, man, I could do such more with that. But God hasn't called you to that, and that's not your blessing. Your blessing is whatever it is that God's called you to do. And so we have Esau against Jacob. Now Esau's turning the table because Esau's ticked. Because Esau said, you know what, I gave my birthright up, now he's taking my blessing and I'm ticked. Now it's time to go clean house. Maybe you have hatred in your heart today for somebody in your family because they've done you wrong. I don't know everybody's business in here. It's my job not to know everybody's business. So I can preach and not worry about it. I don't want to know everything. Because I like to be able to have the freedom to preach whether you like your brother, you don't like your brother. Right. It matters to me, but when I'm preaching about this, I don't want to have to look at the floor. Okay? So maybe this morning you hate your brother, maybe your sister, maybe your dad, maybe your mom, maybe an ex-spouse, maybe whatever, that you hate so badly because they did you wrong. Maybe this morning they not only took your birthright, but they took your blessing. What's that old song? She got gold mine, and I got shed. Okay? Maybe you feel like maybe you're in the shaft and she got gold mine. Maybe vice versa, whatever. Whatever it is. Maybe you feel like someone has absolutely done you wrong and cheated you. Maybe you thought that you had a relationship with somebody and they forsook you and you felt alone. I was reading this week in Timothy, and Paul's writing to Timothy and said, everybody has forsaken you, except for you. Tell such and such and such and such. Greetings from the church. Bring me my cloak when you come but please come before the winter. I was like, he was in prison when writing this, and I'm sure there wasn't a 42-inch screen, and there wasn't a mattress on it. It was a prison. There was sewage running through the floor, and Paul's trying to write to these churches, trying to keep them all together while he's in prison. So maybe you feel like somebody has forsaken you. Maybe somebody didn't do you right. And that's possible today. Maybe somebody disrespected you. Maybe they didn't treat you like you deserve to be treated. Maybe they took, like Jacob took Esau, maybe they took your blessing. Maybe they took your ministry. Maybe you feel like they took everything from you. But in Genesis chapter 32, starting in verse 22, I know I'm skipping a lot, and I'm just touching the surface of this. Starting with verse 22. And he arose that night and took his 2 wives, crazy, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of Jabbok. And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over what he had. Then Jacob was left alone. See, there's something about being alone. Sometimes you need to clear out the house and just be alone. Sometimes you need to clear your thoughts and just be alone with you. There's so many people that don't even like themselves, but they want everybody else to like them. That's just crazy talk. There's no way. If you don't even like yourself, I guarantee you most people don't like you. Because you can't even be with you. That's sad. But he was alone. And a man wrestled with him until the breaking of day. Now when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip. The socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, "Let me go, for the day breaks." But he said, "I will not let you go until you bless me." I want you to say, "Until you bless me." Put the emphasis on me. I will not let you go until you bless me. Jacob had never been blessed as Jacob. He had been blessed as Esau. He had never been blessed as Jacob. You better get with me. Jacob had never had Jacob's blessing on his life. He always had somebody else's blessing on his life. Come on with me. Then when he saw him, and he said to him, "Let me go, when I let you go, you bless me." Verse 27. So he said to him, "What is your name?" Now wait a minute. Hang on just a second. They had been wrestling until daybreak, and he just now figured out, I might need to know this cat's name. They've been wrestling, he'd been wrestling with the Lord, and all of a sudden now the Lord, not that the Lord doesn't know his name, but I want to know who I'm blessing. Am I blessing you as Esau, or am I blessing you as Jacob?
Come on, let's go.
Who is it? Who am I blessing? So let me ask you a question this morning. Who is it that God's blessing? Are you blessed? Is he blessing who you think you ought to be?
Amen.
Or is he blessing you? We live in this little bubble. And we think everything, we gotta act this way, gotta be this way. And I know there's standards of living for God, I get it. But guys, you don't have to comb your hair the same way as your favorite evangelist. You know, I don't preach like a lot of people do. I don't do the suck back thing. You know, suck back in. And God, that's it. And you, I don't talk that way. Why would I preach that? I know. That's just silly to me. And it's distracting to me. And so I don't do that. You don't speak that way. Why do you? So he said, "What's your name?" He said, "My name's Jacob." My name's Jacob. For the first time, he admitted, "I'm Jacob. I'm the deceiver. I'm the one. I'm the supplanter. I'm the one that grabbed my brother's heel and pulled it back. I'm the one that took his blessing. I'm Jacob. This is who I am." Yes. Until you get real with God, you'll never have the blessing of God. You've got to get real with who you are. Who are you? You've got to get real with who you are. You can't just simply say, well, I don't know. I'm Naomi. No, they're not. I don't care if you want to be like that. You're not her. You're not her. So listen, I'll go on. You can read this all the way through 32. You can read that. He's wrestling with God. It's the first time he's ever been blessed as himself. That's right. And I love this. He said, you're no longer Jacob, but you're Israel.
Amen. Come on.
You want God to change your life? Get real with God. Quit trying to be who you're not and start being who you are. And let God bless you. Quit trying to be who you want to be. Start being who God has called you to be. You cannot be somebody else. Is it okay to like what people do? Yes. It's okay. It's okay to have a style that you like. That's great. There's styles that I like. And there's styles I don't like. Some people like the suck back preaching. I don't. I just don't. That's not my style. And some people don't like what I do, and that's cool too. I don't lose sleep over that. But here's what I want to get across, and I'm trying to hurry up, and I know I'm already out of time. But here I'm trying to hurry. No longer was Jacob, but he was Israel. You'll turn with me to Genesis chapter 33. I'll get you out of here in 2 minutes. 33, start with verse 8. Jacob's going to go meet Esau for the first time because Esau was going to hug him. Esau was done with Jacob. How many know that? Esau was done. How many of you ever said, I'm done?
Come on.
The rest of you are lying. I'm done. I'm done with church. I'm done with that stupid preacher. I'm done with that stupid Sunday school class. I'm done. No one's ever said that. I have twice. Okay? And so, I'm done. Esau had said, I'm done, because Jacob had his birthright and Jacob had his blessing. So what was there left for Esau? There's a little blessing that his father gave him. You can read that if you want to. It's a little blessing that he had, but he was so furious. And now Jacob's having to come meet Esau for the first time since that went down. And so verse 8 of chapter 33 says it this way. Then Esau said, what do you mean by all this company which I met? And he said, these are to find favor in your sight, my Lord. Israel came to Esau, repentant. Esau received his forgiveness. He gave his forgiveness and gave Israel his forgiveness. Verse 9 says this. But Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep what you have for yourself. And here's where I'm going to get to this. Don't be so focused on what somebody else has that you think God doesn't have anything for you. Come on, guys. Look at me. Look at me for a second. I don't care who is on the platform behind the pulpit with the microphone. His hair. Feather, that's what you see. Okay? But it's the guts inside of you. If they didn't work, you're dying. If your hair falls out, you're okay. Okay? But it's the guts inside of you that if they don't work right, you don't work right. And nobody wants to see your guts, I promise you. Nobody wants to see that. We ain't got time for all that stuff. Okay? I don't want to see that. And so understand this, that Esau told his brother, listen, man, it's cool to meet your family. It's cool to meet. You don't have to bring me all these gifts. I love you. Verse 10. And Jacob said, no, please. If I have now found favor in your sight, then receive my present from my hand, inasmuch as I have seen your face, as though I have seen the face of God, and you were pleased with me. What does that mean? They reconciled with each other. Amen. God had, listen, Jacob did some low down dirty stuff. And Esau wasn't very smart about his birthright. And his father Even though his father said, you sound like Jacob, but you feel like Esau. Okay, bless you, whatever. And his father was dying at the time. They took advantage of his mother. Think about this. If your mother had done this to you, what if your mother had preferred one son over the other? Maybe that's happened to you in your life. I don't know. But don't think just because your brother got something that God doesn't have something special for you. Because he says this, listen, this is verse 12. It says, Esau said, verse 11. He says, please take my blessing that is brought to you because God has dealt graciously with me and because I have enough. So he urged him and he took it. Israel said, listen, I've got enough. I want to bless you with this. But in verse 9, Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Yeah. Both of them were blessed beyond measure. Both of them had enough. And so when I'm standing here and it's brother against brother, or in the church house, it's Christian against Christian, and you're so afraid somebody else is going to get what you don't have, understand this, that God has plenty in store for you. You're not going to be left out, I promise you. God's not out there going, man, if I give him 5, I only got 6. He'll make more. He has plenty for you and your brother. So don't be so hard on each other when you don't feel like you're getting the blessing you're supposed to get. Look around you because God is beginning to pour out blessing on you. And I don't care if you have to walk with a limp for the rest of your life. You better get blessed according to who you are and not according to who somebody else is, because if you don't, you won't be able to carry it. You can't carry somebody else's blessing because it's not for you. So to wrap up, must-see TV today. Here's the deal. That was just a little thing to kind of pique your interest. But I hope you understand where we went today. I hope you understand where we went for the last month. It's every time you see that, I want you to think about what God has done in your life. When you see brother versus brother, you'll think of, you know what, God's got a blessing for me. When you watch This Is Us, you'll think, you know, I was a prodigal, but God brought me home. When you see It's Amazing Race, you'll think, man, I'm so glad I'm not running this by myself. And everybody has to start at the starting line, and nobody gets to cheat. Amen? When you watch The Price is Right, you'll remember that the price was paid for you that's greater than you could ever pay. Amen? When you watch Little People, Big World, or you see it advertised, you'll think, some people may see me as little, but God has me here for a great little world. When you see the last one, when you see brother versus brother, I want you to think God has plenty in store for me. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but God has greatness in store for you. Listen, it's decisions that you make. Esau could have kept that hatred and went and attacked his brother. But he didn't. There's a whole long story I didn't get into. I mean, I just gave you the highlights. There's a whole big long story. You need to read it. And it's been a while since you read it. You need to read it. It's a great, big, wonderful story of God's forgiveness, and God's blessing, and God's reconciliation. It's absolutely amazing. So here we go. This is it. Ready? This is it. Stand your feet.